power went out. And so I was without power from Saturday until about Tuesday afternoon ish. And I know that Sacramento has been going through some crazy weather since the turn of the new year. It's been a blur. Like it's all gone by so fast. Feels like New Year's came and then the storm came, and the storm has come in waves, and it's been a roller coaster. I know Harrison Barnes, I believe, said he was without power until yesterday. So hopefully we can stay on air for at least until 12. I did see that there's some blackouts that are happening in the Cal Expo Arden area, and we're not too far from there. So fingers crossed that we can make it till noon. But let's start off with that Saturday game. Like I said, it feels like it was so long ago that we were upset about that Kings Lakers game. It was incredibly frustrating. It had all the makings of a classic Kings Lakers duel, from a high scoring game, final score 136-134. Not much of any defense was played on either side last Saturday. Thomas Bryant had the game of his life. The amount of people who've asked me this week, who is Thomas Bryant? Like, is he good? Like, is that somebody I should know? No, it's not. It's not. And Thomas Bryant had the game of his career. I think somehow it wasn't a career high. He finished 12 of 14 from the field last Saturday for 29 points, 14 boards for those who want to remember that game. But what most of us will remember that game for was the controversial ending. And stop me if you've heard this before, but Kings Lakers ending in a controversial ending in which the referees decided to decide the game. Again, please stop me if you've heard this before. We've talked on this show a couple different times now about controversial endings because of the referees' failures. And I don't know if there was, I mean, the Tyler Hero travel earlier in the year, that was not great. I believe there was a no call travel on Klay Thompson, if I'm remembering correctly, as well. That would have given the Kings an overtime opportunity. I think this one takes the cake as the worst referee decision that impacted a Kings game this season. And that was De'Aaron Fox being called for your everyday regular chest bump on a Dennis Schroeder drive. And it was a pretty reckless drive. I mean, Schroeder's driving baseline with about, 5 seconds left. And they called De'Aaron for he made contact with Schroeder for sure, but it's nothing. I think De'Aaron said it perfectly. He didn't say it post game because he did exit the building pretty immediately after that game. But I believe it was the next day in for shoot around or after at a practice. The next following day, De'Aaron said, if you're going to call that, if you're going to make that specific foul call, you're going to have 60 calls every single game. Like that happens so often. For them to call that at that moment, it was ridiculous. And it gave the Lakers a clear opportunity to win, put them up 2. The Kings get I believe if I'm remembering, I am remembering now even better. Mike Brown calls a challenge on that. They lose their last time out. So now Schroeder makes the 2 free throws. They're not allowed to advance the ball. And they have to resort to a De'Aaron Fox half-court heave, which also had its own set of controversy. If you watch the replay, De'Aaron Fox's elbow was clearly hit, clearly touched on that half-court heave. And you understand why they're not going to call it. I mean, that's after just giving a pretty controversial call on one end, are you really just going to double down on it and have it go the Kings way in that stance? I don't know. And who knows if De'Aaron makes those 3 free throws. We've seen not only the Kings in general struggle with important clutch free throws, but De'Aaron Fox has in his time in Sacramento, he's missed his fair share of big free throws as well. So who's to say if the Kings would have for sure won that one, but just not the way you want to end it. Thankfully, that was the Kings' only loss this week. And it was a disappointing start. We talked a couple weeks ago about this 6-game homestand, or this homestand that they have against, I believe, 6 or 7 straight quote unquote easy opponents. They get off to a rough start, losing at home to Atlanta in a game. Again, another close game, as well as the Laker game as well. And they start the homestand 0-2 when it was an opportunity for them, again, to get over 5 games over 500, which we'll talk about a little bit here soon. But then the Magic start. No pun intended. Then the Magic starts. They play the Orlando Magic on Monday. Again, coming off a disappointing loss against the Lakers on Saturday. And what do? They take care of business. And I think Monday might have been the most well-rounded performance that we've seen from a Kings team this year. Earlier in the season, we saw the Kings go to Orlando and have to pull out a De'Aaron Fox incredible half-court game-winning shot for them to pull out that game in Orlando. That was not the story on Monday in Golden One Center. Kings took care of business for really the first time in a long, long time, it felt like, where the Kings just straight blew the doors off the Orlando Magic. They were up 20 at halftime. The Magic, I think, made it close in that third, maybe early fourth quarter. But really nothing that the Kings ever had to worry about. Harrison Barnes had a fantastic game, 30 points on Monday. That's been a nice common trend. Harrison, since the start of the year, has really turned his season around. It has been a slow start this year for Harrison Barnes. He's been well below his career averages. He's just under 15 points a game, shooting 35% from 3 now. That number was really, really scary low before this stretch of games since the new year. Harrison was shooting like 30% from 3, so it's nice to see him kind of start to get that average up towards the Harrison Barnes that we know, and he's kind of peaking at the exact right moment right now. Just since the turn of the year here in Sacramento, Harrison Barnes. As I pull up his stats here, because he's really been incredible, and I do feel like I'm a Harrison Barnes not hater, but I'm just very critical. Critic. I'm a critic of Harrison Barnes. Just it's expectation is really my problem with Harrison. It's not that he doesn't produce, because he does produce. We've seen just in the month of January so far, he in 7 games, he's averaging 21 points per game on 53% from the field, 50% from 3. His best month prior to that was in December, averaging 14 points per game on 45% and 31 from the field, or 31% from 3. So Harrison has been really, really spectacular in these 7 games, and the Kings have needed it. He's been really everything that you could have asked for Harrison Barnes in this last stretch of games. And then we have not the back-to-back, but the 2 games, the 2-game series against the Houston Rockets, which you look at the score and you're like, oh, Kings took care of business. Easy. 3 games in a row, taking care of business. 3 games in a row, 20-plus point victories for the Sacramento Kings. Just incredible stuff. But for those of us who really watched all 48 minutes, or again, we're really testing my math skills here, 96, is that right? 96 minutes of Kings versus Rockets action. It was a lot closer for a lot longer than I think any of us would have wanted. Like I said, they eventually took care of business, but if we're talking Wednesday, that game was close all the way until the fourth quarter. It was 101-100 at one point. Garrison Matthews, who we'll get to later, we will talk some Garrison Matthews, some Gary Bird is his official nickname on Basketball Reference. We'll talk about Garrison Matthews, but Garrison Matthews hits a 3 to take Houston up 101-100 in that one with about 8 minutes left. Starts to get a little bit tight in Golden One Center at that point. People start getting a little bit nervous that the Kings aren't going to take care of business, but they do. Trey Lyles has a huge, huge fourth quarter. Just an absolutely incredible performance from Trey Lyles on Wednesday. And the Kings pull out that one. And then Friday, last night, the Kings, again, that game it's a 3-point game at halftime. Jalen Green's got 25 points at the half. But that third quarter, Kings came out on a mission. They start playing defense. They stop turning the ball over finally. And at that point, they run away with it. 43 points in that third quarter for the Kings last night. Just absolutely incredible. We'll talk about Domantas Sabonis later, but Domantas Sabonis with one of the most insane stat lines you will see in an NBA game. I mean, there is about four other guys maybe in this league who can put up a 19-point, 15 rebound, 16 assist night. 16 assists from your center. Oh yeah, 2 steals, 2 blocks on top of that as well, just to throw in the defensive element. He also got the defensive player of the game chain last night. Domas is just an absolute monster, and we'll talk about him a lot more later. But we're so lucky to have a player like Domantas Sabonis on our team, an all-star caliber player like Domantas Sabonis on our team. And he definitely was a big part of the Kings taking care of business last night. 3-1 week. You would hope it'd be a 4-0 week. Kings now sit at the number. Is it number 5? Or is it number 4 in the standings?
4.
Number 4.
Technically 4. Mavs has played 2 more games than us, but we're basically neck and neck with them.
Right. Yeah. We're essentially in a tie for 4th place right now with the Mavericks. But yeah, like Nate mentioned, we haven't played nearly as many games as any other team in the NBA. So we'll be playing catch up on that end, but that just means more games for us to watch. And it's been incredibly exciting. Who would have guessed Sacramento Kings are the number 4 seed right now in the Western Conference, leading the Pacific Division by 2.5 games right now. Boy, oh boy, what a season. We'll talk about preseason expectations, how the Kings have exceeded them. We'll give you our progress reports on the season, all that and more coming up right here on Kings Weekly on Sacktown Sports 1140.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Driving a kick, and the ball slips off the hands of Garrison Matthews. Chased in the backcourt. Loose ball foul has been called, and now Garrison Matthews going after Malik Monk. They're nose to nose. Security quickly on the floor, separating them. Here comes Sacramento security on the run. This will de-escalate very quickly.
Some very, very, very big hold me back energy. Big hold me back energy in that kerfuffle, in that skirmish, in that tussle between Malik Monk and Garrison Matthews.
I'd say it was a standoff, maybe even.
It was
because a lot. If hold me back energy translates to a standoff, I'd say
definitely. I mean, they went forehead to forehead like some Rams. It was all Garrison Matthews too. Like that dude.
I love seeing Malik give it back though. He's always so happy and so positive, and see him swat that ball and then get in his face was awesome.
Yeah, Malik talks. Malik's definitely a big talker, big trash talker.
Yeah.
Something tells me Malik had some had some unkind words for Garrison after Garrison, like I said, was the one who really initiated it. Like Garrison gave him the little shove leading into it. That kind of got things going. Malik taps the ball out of his hands, and then Garrison took offense to it, goes head to head. Malik says something to him, and they kind of separate. I was shocked that I was shocked. I was shocked that they all got ejected. I mean, especially when you throw in Mezzi and Tari Eason, who also got ejected on top of Monk and Garrison Matthews. To me, it was give them a double tech and call it a day. Like it wasn't like any fight, any fists were thrown or anything like that. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of that call, but thankfully the game was already decided at that point. So not that big of an issue. We have a lot of players to go through here. Like I said, we're going to try and give a little mid-season progress report, if you will, on just how we're feeling about all the players on the team. We're going to go I'm going from Keon Ellis to Domantas Sabonis. And I'm sorry that Keon just so happens to be at the bottom. It's just I'm pretty sure he's played the least minutes of anybody.
I would love to start with Keon.
Let's do it. No, Keon's been one of my favorite the Kings always have a project that they're working on. Last year, Neemias Queta was the really big focus, and I don't think a lot of people have paid a lot of attention to what Keon Ellis has been doing. He's been phenomenal in Stockton, especially offensively. And Keon is not an offensive. If Keon Ellis is going to get NBA minutes, it's not going to be because of his offense. That dude is a lockdown defender.
Well, counterpoint, he's shooting 100% on the season.
He is shooting 100% on the season, 100% from three as well.
So,
or 100%. Oh, actually.
Did he take another shot?
He did take another shot. He did hit his first he got his first career points the other day.
I missed garbage time last night.
Yeah. But Keon is an incredible defender already. And it's just his offense is not nearly there. He's a guard. He's like rail thin. He's really, really skinny. So he's got to kind of bulk up a bit. He's got to get his ball handling better. I think his shooting is almost there, almost ready to be at an NBA level. I feel like he can shoot 35, 36% if he were to step into the NBA right now. But his role is going to be the definition of a 3 and D player. He's going to come in, he's going to lock you up, and then hopefully the idealized version of Keon Ellis is also going to be a spot-up shooter, a guy that you can have on coming off your bench and be a very reliable option, kind of like think of Davion Mitchell now, but as a shooting guard option. But we know, there's just not the minutes for him. Terrence Davis, Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, Davion Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox. You already got 5 guys filling up those guard spots, those guard minutes. It's just going to be tough for Keon to get minutes. I've liked what I've seen from him in Stockton. Kind of got to give him an incomplete grade, but he hasn't gotten much of any NBA minutes, so it feels wrong giving him any sort of grade. But I will say, just as a progress report, if I were to give him a note, keep up the hard work. It'll pay off eventually.
All right, who we got next?
I'm not going to do a PJ Dozier just because he just got here. We haven't seen much of his. It's been a lot of garbage time minutes, and I think PJ's. We can maybe talk about PJ if he gets signed to the team on a full-time basis. Chima Moneki got cut the other week. We don't need to talk about Chima. I'm a big Chima supporter. I thought he could kind of be like an energy guy, a Quincy AC kind of guy, if you will, for your old school Kings fans. But unfortunately, Chima no longer with the team. Alex Len. This is an interesting one. Alex Len hasn't played much this season either. He does have a start under his belt. He did start the one game Domantas Sabonis didn't play this season against the Denver Nuggets the other week. Alex, it's tough for Alex. I mean, he's got all the stuff going on at home. He's one of, I think, 2 Ukrainian players right now in the NBA. I believe I've heard like Alex's communication with his family has been a little sparse. He's, he doesn't really know when the next time he can talk to his family will be. He's checked in with them periodically, but who even knows?
I've also heard he got incredibly sick too. And I think he lost about 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And I know he's 260. I mean, he's huge.
He's
but that's still, that's
right.
tough.
Yeah. Incredibly tough. And again, he kind of falls out of the rotation. We've seen the Kings have given every possible backup center a chance to play, really, except for Alex Len. I would say Alex hasn't gotten a fair shot at it, but something tells me that the Kings know better than I do. So if Alex isn't getting a chance to earn those backup minutes, there's probably a reason for it. But Alex really hasn't gotten much of any opportunity. I think when he did play, he played solid, especially considering he's only played 9 games before that this season. For him to come in and play against Nikola Jokic, I thought he did solid. And Alex is kind of, what you're going to get from Alex. It's going to be a couple points just from being big, and hopefully a lot of rebounds and maybe some rim protection. But Alex really hasn't played that much, and so again, it kind of feels wrong to give him a grade. But I'll give him a B because he hasn't been bad.
That's okay. I was gonna say, I think he just hasn't earned.
Here,
No. I was gonna say C minus because I think he just hasn't earned time from Mike Brown because Mike Brown's given time to. I know Rashawn's, I guess, a better player, or not. I guess he's a better player, but a different player. But I'll go C.
C is fine because I mean he hasn't played well, but he also hasn't played poorly.
It's
so I guess C is kind of, but right, exactly. I'm just gonna give him a B because I like Alex.
Yeah, I like everyone on the Kings.
Yeah. I was talking about liking a player on the Kings. This one right here, Matthew Dellavedova.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Delly. Delly is definitely the crowd favorite this year. Every time Delly comes in, it's the loudest. Besides when the cookies are won, is when Delly hits a 3.
When he hit that record-breaking 3, dude,
incredible.
That was awesome.
Incredible, and it had to be Delly, of course.
Yeah.
The dude with the ugliest shot I've seen in a really long time. I mean, Delly looks like he tore his rotator cuff at some point, and just like, I don't know, that thing is ugly, but it's
they
been
shoot
good.
Different down under. That's what I've heard. That's what
he
I've
definitely
heard.
Shoots it from down under. Shooting 41% on the season so far, 1.4 points. Let's see, 1.2 assists in his limited minutes is actually pretty impressive, all things considered. Let me see his per 36. Per 36 is 8 points and 7 rebounds. Delly's not going to get much of any minutes. The longest extended period of play that we saw him get was when De'Aaron Fox was out. I think Delly's been solid. I think Delly has been everything that you would hope. You're not expecting him to come in and be a starter level guy. We know Delly wasn't even in the league last year. King signed him late. He was one of Quinn Cook and himself were battling for the backup point guard. I think a lot of people are rooting for Quinn Cook. I was rooting for Delly for the exact reason that we've seen this year. If Dellavedova comes in, it's not good. Like, if Delly is coming in for the Kings in some real serious, if he has to play 20 minutes a game, that means the Kings are in trouble. It means De'Aaron Fox is hurt, and we're already in a bad situation. And what you want from that position is somebody who's like a backup quarterback. That's the example I've used the whole time with Delly. You just want someone who's going to come in and do the basics. I don't want you to come in and try and throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. I just need you to come in, run the offense, play like Brock Purdy. Give me 200 yards, give me 2 touchdowns, give me no interceptions.
I'd say too with Delly, when he does come in, it is usually bad. Well, blowout aside,
exactly.
But Mike Brown's looking for a spark too, which he does, we've seen him do all season with different players. So yeah, not necessarily a good thing. Letter grade though, what would you say?
I'll give Delly a B+. I guess I'm a generous grader a little bit, but Delly, for the role that he has specifically played this season, I think he's been phenomenal. I think he's also been a good bench presence. You always see him standing up, coaching guys up. I think he's kind of like that extended coach that actually, that's on the floor, quote unquote. I think Delly has been great for what he has been brought in to do this year.
Yeah, B for me, solid all around. Yeah. Nothing outstanding. Right. Hasn't done. I mean, the record-breaking 3, but he
doesn't have any. Oh, yeah, Delly, nothing, you remember he had that 15-point game or whatever? No,
doing the players coach kind of thing. He brings veteran presence. Yep. Very, solid B. Good, Good job, Mike Brown.
Yep, good job, Mike Brown. Good job, Monty. We're gonna get to the rest of the roster on the other side of the break. The real rotation. I'm gonna give you all my thoughts. We have plenty of time right here at Kings Weekly, Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. You've heard me talk with my friend Shelby about real estate for a long, long time. You know what? Shelby's main goal? He just wants to help you save money no matter how. So what is Shelby doing right now with the real estate market all over the place? He's pivoting. Solarwithshelby.com. And you might be saying like, oh God, solar. No, listen, Shelby's got it dialed in, especially if you're a PG&E customer. He can save you 30 to 50% off your bill, 30% federal tax credit, dollar for dollar. It comes back in cash. Protect yourself from inflation. These numbers could be going up and up and up. 100% financing. Yeah, they've got it. Nothing down, 30% tax credit, 25-year guarantee. What more do you need? Go to solarwithshelby.com. That's what you need. You need solar. Solarwithshelby.com. Save yourself some money today and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
At Staples, you can count on every project being print perfect, guaranteed.
I need presentations and brochures printed, and they have to be perfect.
Your bounded presentations, brochures with the finest folds, and more will be done right every time. That's our Print Big promise. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more, plus 20% back via store bonus. Try Staples and see the difference. Ends 2/11. Rewards members only. Bonus must be redeemed in store. See staples.com/stores/printbig for details.
I'm in the great outdoors doing a little Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. Would you look at that? You know, those are some pretty high-powered binoculars you got there, Vince.
Yeah, I use them to spot all the Lasher license plates out there.
Well, there's bound to be a lot because, I mean, you are the big guy after all, and the big guy's known for making great deals on new Ram 1500 Bighorns and Longhorns, Tradesmen and Laramies, crew cabs and quad cabs, 4x4s and 4x2s.
I know. Hold on. I see another one.
Another what? Looked like it might have been a new Dodge Challenger.
I think so.
Or a new Dodge Charger. Elk Grove Dodge sells a ton of those, you know. And new Durangos, Chrysler Pacificas, Jeep Cherokees, and the new Grand Cherokee, Jeep Compass, Gladiators, and Wranglers, and the all-new Wagoneer. I've heard Elk Grove Dodge has great deals on those, too.
Oh, he's taken off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lose him?
Oh, no. Just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge.
No surprise there, because for over 40 years, the name Lasher means a great deal.
Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Here's a steal by Fox and a breakaway opportunity coming up. Going to be challenged by Green. Shovels to Trey Lyles for the two-hand plug. Very unselfish and a very heady play, Henry, by De'Aaron Fox.
No doubt.
Leaking out, Şengün going for the hammer. Blocked by Sabonis. Hustles back. Boy, the crowd loved that. Terrific hustle by Sabonis. Lead pass. Barnes to Sabonis. Back to the basket. Spins to the baseline. Sealed off by Şengün. Shoulders for space. Kicks it out. Terrence Davis open for three. Ring the bell. Timeout. Houston.
It's a great instrumental. Such a
Great song.
Great song.
G-Man said ring the bell. How about light the beam,
Light
G-Man?
the beam. Come on, G-Man. It's an easy one. We're going to get through the rotation now. We're going into the real rotation. Delhi was kind of the last of the fringe guys. Now we're getting into the guys who have really gotten some real minutes this year. And without further ado, we're going to start with one KZ. What does KZ stand for? This is something I should know by now. KZ Okpala. Let's see here.
Where's he from again? Is he from?
He is from Orange County, California,
County.
but he does play for the Nigerian.
I was gonna
national
say,
team as
yeah.
well.
I thought he played for Nigeria.
Yes, he does. He is, went to high school in Anaheim. He is
Disneyland kid.
Yeah, Disney kid for sure. I cannot pronounce KZ's first name, so I'm not even gonna try. KZ Okpala has been in and out of the rotation pretty much the entire year. We saw him start the season in the starting lineup. Got 3 starts to start the season there before eventually being pulled completely out of the rotation. And then now we've kind of seen him get reintegrated, and it seems like it's mainly for defensive purposes. And KZ's been okay. I think this entire season I've compared him a lot to Mo Harkless, or having the same common problems as Mo Harkless, where clearly the defensive side of the ball is where his value is and where he's doing his best work. And if he can give you anything offensively, that keeps him on the floor for a little bit longer. We haven't really seen much of any offense from KZ this season, still averaging 1.6 points per game, 38% from three, 47% on the field. But I mean, we're not talking a whole lot of shot attempts for KZ in general. Only 34 shot attempts on the season. He's 7 of 18 from three on the year as well. So just not that much offensively to speak on, but KZ he's been good when he's come in to play for the Kings. I don't think he's made much of a overall impact. A couple defensive player of the game chains for him, which is probably going to be his biggest point of notoriety throughout the year. But it's been, I would have liked to see a little bit more from KZ this year. Just offensively, if he could have provided some offense, I think it would have been really, really helpful. And I'm talking like it's in past tense. There's still time for him to get better. But if he could provide any amount of offense, the defense that he provides would be so useful for the Kings that I think it really could change how they play defensively as well, because KZ is really that good on defense, but the offense isn't there. And I don't think that you'll be able to justify playing him major minutes, especially coming off the bench, where the Kings have kind of struggled, surprisingly, with their bench. Early in the season, their bench was one of their strong suits. I think the first 10 games of the season, they were top 5 in the NBA in bench points. Since then, Malik Monk, percentage-wise, has really cooled down. Terrence Davis has been in and out of the rotation. Davion Mitchell's offense, we'll get to him in a second, but his offense has left a lot to be desired, and the backup center has been in and out all year, so haven't gotten much consistency there. So you really do need some offensive scoring punch off the bench even still, and the fact that KZ's not able to provide that, I think, is just going to kind of be his downfall in terms of minutes. But I felt okay about the KZ minutes. I think there's a lot of people who are like, he just flat out doesn't need to play. I don't mind him getting his 10 minutes or so a game.
Well, give the people what they want. Give them a letter grade.
The grade.
Everyone's clamoring.
Clamoring for it. I think it's a C. I think this is my first C, where it's just, again, like the offense isn't there. The defense is there, but the impact isn't. And, if a player like KZ, if he's not playing 25 minutes a game for you, I just don't think you're really going to feel his presence. So, unfortunately, I wish I could like KZ's game more this year, but I'm going to have to give him, I'll give him a C-. How about that?
Yeah, I'm going to go C- too. Definitely shocked. I know he started for Keegan, hurt Keegan. I was surprised that that's who Mike Brown went with early in the season. I guess he didn't have a lot of options, but I was like, really? I just barely even knowing who he was, and C-. I think he can turn it up though, for sure.
I think that there's a chance that he could, because I mean his offense has really just not been there at all. So if he gives us anything, I think that that's an improvement, and I think it'd be a welcome improvement, because really it is him, Harrison, and Keegan are the only. Trey Lyles as well, but they're the only like rangy guys who can guard. I always am talking about guarding the Paul Georges, the Kawhis, the KDs,
but that's what everyone's talking about too.
Right.
It's like in the NFL, no one can defend against. Well, you can defend a running quarterback, but everyone struggles with it.
Very true.
Yeah, so
it's very true.
Who we got next?
We have Chimezie Metu, who's been in and out of the starting lineup, out of the rotation all year. We've seen, I think, the best stretches have been with Mezzi at the backup 5. I haven't been a big fan of Mezzi.
Yeah, I was going to say you're a Metu hater.
I am. Yeah, where I'm not. Yeah. I'm not a Metu critic. I am a Metu hater. I really am. I just don't. Especially last season, I was not a fan of Chimezie Metu's season last year. Just took way too many threes. I thought he was most effective near the paint. And the funny thing is, I think if he were to just centralize himself around the rim, that would be the guy that the Kings are looking for. He's not a good rebounder. He's at points shown this season the aggression to rebound, but not on a consistent basis. And I think if he wants to lock down that backup center position, he's got to be a more effective screener, because he and Rashawn Holmes are really big victims of just slipping screens and not really setting them, not setting hard screens and just trying to roll to the basket. And rim protection. I think rim protection, screen setting, and rebounds are the thing that Mezzi definitely needs to improve on. Saying all of that, I think I've been very pleased with how Mezzi has played this year. I do think that second unit is best with Mezzi. I think his athleticism is very much needed in that lineup, and I love that play that they run for him. I can't remember what the play is. Someone was just Drew. Shout out Drew. That local guy was just talking about it last night.
His athleticism, though, is what makes him such a useful player to this team. Yeah, and then when you always have that athleticism, but it is like, I don't want to say his basketball IQ, but
what he does with his athleticism.
Yes, is where the issues arise, I'd say. Definitely. So for me, if I'm giving Chimezie, I'm going to give him a B-. I think he's playing good ball. There's definite improvements to make. I would love to see him as our backup guy behind Sabonis, but it's probably not going to happen. I think a deal gets done.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a B, because I don't think he's played well enough to lock down that backup position. But at the same time, like I've mentioned, I've been incredibly impressed with how he's played this year. A lot more around the rim stuff. And it's just night and day from the guy he was last year.
Totally.
So I almost am tempted to give him a B+ just to be like, you're so far removed. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give him a B+.
There we go.
He gets a B+.
There we go.
We're going to go. This one's going to be quick. Rashawn Holmes. Rashawn is just, it's been a season from hell for Rashawn. It's been a season from hell from Rashawn. So it's been ugly. Hasn't really found any consistency. His offensive game is gone. His defensive game has been just absolutely terrible. He's looked a shell of himself all year, not been able to lock down any sort of role with this team for any long-term stand. It's been incredibly disappointing. He makes $11 million a year. I don't know if the Kings are going to be able to move him at the deadline. I hope they do.
That seemed like
parties.
Such a good deal when we signed him too. It was like, okay, we got a good piece here in place.
Yeah.
That was a while ago though.
$11 million is just too much to pay for a backup center. That is in and out of the rotation. So the Kings have to figure out what they're going to do with Rashawn. I think Rashawn is still a good player. I think we're going to see Rashawn go to a different situation and have a lot more success, especially depending on where that team is at. But I think Rashawn is still a very valuable piece. But in terms of the season he's had, I think I'm going to give him a D just for past performance, but it's been really terrible. If this is Rashawn's first season here, if this is the first glimpses that we're getting of Rashawn Holmes, if we just erase all of the good stuff that we saw from him and we're just talking about the guy we've seen this year, it's an F.
Yeah, F is for failure, and this season's been a failure for him, and it sucks because he's such an awesome guy. His parents are awesome. Awesome guy. It's not working. It's just not working. And it's not that he's a bad player and he's lost his skill, but it's just not working.
The Kings got Domantas Sabonis, and that's really the end of the story. Was once they got Domas, he kind of lost his role. He lost his starting spot. And I think since then he's just kind of been trying to figure out how to readjust to only getting 15 minutes a game. And it's tough. It's not easy to go from 35 minutes to 15 or 10. We're going to get to, I know I promised we'd get to the meat of the lineup, but next, coming up after the break, we have the meat of the lineup. Here are our thoughts, the progress report. We are at the midseason point for the Sacramento Kings. We're giving out our progress report right here on Kings Weekly on Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Join the Sacramento Kings on Thursday, January 26th for the Kingpin Classic Charity Bowling Tournament, presented by Rayleigh's. Bowl and mingle with your favorite players, coaches, Kings dancers, the 916 crew, and Slams It, all while supporting the Sacramento Kings Foundation. Learn more at kings.com/bowling.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, is also Northern California's #1 Honda certified pre-owned vehicle dealer.
Come see our amazing selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. We have something for everyone. Don't shop dealer to dealer trying to find the perfect used car. Stockton Honda has the selection, financing, and savings you want. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
One claim based on 2021 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs.
I never really thought about tools until I bought a house in the suburbs. It's like this weird homeowner test if I need a tool for a project and don't have it. And my neighbor Ted loves to give me that look when I ask to borrow a pole saw. A year ago, I didn't even know pole saws existed. And now I gotta borrow one from Ted? What is happening?
Anyway, when you save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto, that's the easy part of adjusting to the suburbs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
What's up? We're joined by Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. What's going on, Chad, for Chrysler Start Something New events?
Now is your chance to save up to $4,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. If you've been looking for a way to move the family around while saving money on gas, this is the Jeep that can do both.
Well, saving gas is good, but there's nothing like the sound of American muscle.
I know. And now you can hear it every day on your way to work with savings up to $5,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Dodge Challenger GTs, starting as low as $29,995. Plus, we have tons of savings on California's best selection of Ram trucks, too.
So why are you waiting? Get the new car or truck of your dreams with no dealer markup and no games at Hoblet Dodge in historic downtown Woodland. Or search, select, and save through their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$4,000 in total net savings on 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE base. $5,500 total net savings on select 2022 Dodge Challenger GTs after $2,500 factory rebates and $3,000 dealer discount. $5 at each net savings. See dealer for details.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the party, this is supposed to roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always taut. It's our party vibe. It's crazy, so what Shakespeare does. So what? Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Pump fakes, lays it up in the air. Boy, Shengun and company, they just don't have much of an answer for Sabonis in the low post. Fox at the top of the arc, favors the left wing, gives to Sabonis. Had a notion to shoot the three, says no. Harrison, you shoot it. And Barnes scores it. Sabonis now with a new career high with his 16th assist.
That guy is crazy, isn't he? Jeez.
Who, G-Man?
No, G-Man's a wild boy. No, Domantas Sabonis. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We'll talk about him at the end of today's segment. I promised Nate that we would rush through these the rest of this roster because we have a limited amount of time. So we're gonna get back into the swing of things again. Mid-season progress report grades for the Sacramento Kings as we are at the halfway point in the season. Let's start with Terrence Davis. Terrence Davis has had a very up and down season. We have the 35-point high against Brooklyn on the TNT game. I don't think it's going to get bigger than that for T. Right?
That
wasn't
huge.
35. I keep saying
31, right?
Points. I believe it was 31.
I don't know why I remember that.
Yeah. It was an incredible performance from TD, but he's been in and out of the rotation for a lot of the year. We saw him get a couple DNP CDs last week. I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago. And that also makes sense for the same reason I listed with Keon, the fact that he's sitting behind Malik and he's sitting behind Herder. It's tough for him to somehow get in that rotation, especially when they throw KZ in there or they throw Metu in there as well. Like Mike Brown's trying to keep his rotation to about 9 guys, and sometimes TD falls on the outside of that. But I think TD's a nice weapon to have off your bench, like as an option. You know, if Malik doesn't have it on a night, or if Malik or like we've seen Kevin Herter goes down, TD gets a step right up. Kevin Herter doesn't play last night, TD plays in the starting lineup, drops 22 points. I mean, stuff like that. That's exactly why you keep Terrence Davis on the roster. It's unfortunate he's not been able to get a solidified role in the starting or in the rotation, but
consistency is key, and that's why.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I
letter
definitely
grade
think
time.
so. Yep, letter grade time. Thank you for keeping me on pace, Nate. Terrence Davis, I'll give him a B because the TNT game was incredible, but again, just the lack of consistency. I think Mike Brown has been really hard on him on the defensive end as well. I'll give TD actually a B+ because that TNT game was really, really special.
Yeah.
And when TD's on, he's on.
I'm gonna give a C+, C for consistency.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
Next, we have Trey Lyles, who has had an incredible stretch of games, especially recently. I think in the past month or so, he has taken an initiative to be Dennis Rodman on the boards, and it's been my favorite thing I've seen of anybody on the team.
Mike Brown has changed him as a player too, because I remember him doing a press conference about Trey Lyles. He used to see him pump and go straight to the basket.
Exactly.
And now he's shooting, and he's a whole nother player.
I think that's an excellent point, and I'm gonna capitalize on that, and I'm gonna say Trey Lyles is the most improved player this season from the Kings.
So what do you grade him?
I'm going to give him an A- because I really, really like what Trey has been doing. He's been able to really solidify himself in the rotation. We've seen him get backup center minutes at points this year. I think Trey is just incredibly versatile in the things that he brings to this team: 3-point shooting, rebounding, a level of defense, and some length, some legitimate length.
I'd say especially recently too.
Yes.
And I'm going to go B+.
All right, B+ for Trey Lyles. Davion Mitchell. Oof. Davion Mitchell goes right in that Chimezie Metu bucket for me, where I've been a big criticizer, borderline hater of Davion Mitchell, really since he's arrived here in Sacramento. I didn't love the pick. I thought when they picked him, it was an interesting decision with the 8th pick in the draft to kind of select a backup point guard. Like, it was going to be a stretch for Davion Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox to start in a backcourt together, and we've seen that play out. He got 11 minutes last night. His offense has left a lot to be desired. His defense is incredible, as has been as advertised. Davion Mitchell, 100%. The off-night stuff is there, but his offense is not good. And
So what do you give him?
I'll give Davion a.
You can be a little.
I know. I'm trying to not be hyper-critical here, and I'm also not trying to play my own bias into it because it's
your grade.
It is my grade.
Teachers are biased.
They are. You know what? Teachers have not been fair to me. And
that's another tangent. That's a tangent for another day. But that is. I'm
going to reflect my own teacher oppression onto Davion Mitchell right now. I'm going to give him a D. I just have. It's not been good offensively. He's at 5.9 points per game on 45% from the field. 32% from 3. This season, he's almost been exclusively a spot-up shooter. It's not been good. His shot looks beautiful. His form looks great, but it has not gone in. And that's been a real struggle for him. I think his height is a big issue. He's just under 6 feet tall, in my opinion. It's really tough for Davion to kind of play up to that 8th pick in the draft kind of mystique. And so for that reason, I'm incredibly low on Davion in general. I think he's done fine defensively, but I would have liked to see more.
For me, it's the
No
defense
playmaking
alone gets him a C. I think I'll
That's
give
fair.
him
That's
a
very
C plus. I know that your D was like, oh, okay. That eye opening, it makes me feel like maybe I should go lower. But I'm gonna
Well,
stick
you
to C
made me
plus.
want to go lower. I was
Okay,
probably
yeah.
going to give him a C, but then
I'm
you
gonna
were
go
like,
C
you know what?
plus. Yeah,
Teachers
but
don't
I know
care
how
about
you feel on the inside, so give it out.
Okay, Malik Monk. Malik Monk has just been great off the bench.
Surprise, I'd
He's
say.
really struggled recently, but yeah, I've been surprised at the level of production, the efficiency that he shot from the field, not from three. His 3-point percentage is incredibly low, in my opinion. 32% from three from Malik Monk this year. Did not expect that to happen, but he's been the spark plug off the bench. He's been a sixth man of the year legitimately for this Kings team. I've loved to see what Malik Monk has done. His finishing at the rim is spectacular. Just his play is so exciting. He gets blocks on centers and he'll throw it down, have the best dunks of the year as well.
He's got the it factor. He's got
He
the locker room presence, like with we were talking about earlier, the Malik giving it to
Garrison
Matthews. Yeah, that's huge for the team. The chemistry between him and Fox, obviously, even the chemistry between him and Sabonis is fantastic.
Yep.
So,
and yes,
I'm gonna go A- for Malik.
My guy Sean in the YouTube comments as well. Malik got that dog in him, and I think that's the biggest thing for sure. Malik,
that's the X factor.
We saw that last night. That Malik absolutely is like the dog of the alpha dog of the team. If there's going to be a guy to get in someone's face, it's going to be Malik. Number 5. Now we're in the starters. We are in the starters. We have 3 minutes to get through these starters.
What did you give Malik though? You didn't give him. I said A-.
Yeah, A-. A- is the right grade.
Cool. Okay.
Keegan Murray. This one's interesting. Keegan has been he's been a good spot up shooter. He's been a good 3-point shooter this season, 40% from 3. Really haven't seen much of else from Keegan, to be honest. His defense, his weak side defense has been incredible the past couple weeks or so, and I think that's another testament to Mike Brown getting on him, challenging him.
Say, what else does Keegan Murray do?
What else
He's been getting rebound. He's showing up.
Absolutely. He leads the team in blocks, which is a huge surprise for me.
B for me.
I think Keegan gets a B. I think B-. I
expected more.
I need him to be a better finisher at the rim. I came into the season watching his college tape, and there's no moves. He's got no Euro step. He's got no finishing ability. In college, Monty talked about how he would dunk everything. We've seen him get a couple dunks for sure, but he also gets blocked a whole lot. So I need him to be better at the rim.
Next player.
I'm going to give Keegan a B-. Harrison Barnes, another, like I said, I've been a big criticizer of Harrison Barnes this year. Started off the real rough.
Tough.
I mentioned, 30% from the 3-point line to start the season. He's been a lot better recently, but that's kind of the Harrison Barnes story is you get one and you get the other one. You get the guy who's frustrating and struggles and it feels like he's not there. It feels like some games he's just a nothing, and then other games he gets 30 points and he's getting to the foul line 8 times and he's got 8 rebounds and all
playing
this
lockdown D.
Playing lockdown D, guarding the other guy's best forward. It's been an up and down year for Harrison. He gets a B. It's just he is Mr. Consistent. He's Mr. in terms of like his actual person. As a person, Harrison Barnes is consistent. You know what you're going to get out of Harrison Barnes, the person, every single night. It's just, how he performs, and sometimes shots fall and sometimes they don't. But I'm going to give Harrison
B+, B+ for consistency.
Yeah, I think
C for consistency, B for consistency.
Yep, it makes sense.
All right.
And now we have Kevin Huerter. We're going top 3. Kevin Huerter, who's been.
If this was week 2 of the season, I'd say A++++.
Yes, he was at 50% from 3 at one point.
He slipped a little bit, which of course, but I mean, his play in general is he hit a slump for a while where he couldn't hit a shot. He's back in his groove. He's playing good ball, right?
Yep.
For me, he's my favorite player in the NBA, so I'm
gonna give him an A. I am gonna give him an A. He's provided everything that you would want from that the Kings would want. He's been that knockdown 3-point shooter. He's got real legitimate chemistry with Domantas Sabonis. They have their own weapon. I always like to talk about how you need to weaponize the things that you're good at, and like do them 4, 5, 6 times a game just to like really make it like this is something that we feel like we can get to every single time, and it really works. That 1-2 man with Domas really, really works. I'm going to give Kevin Huerter an A for his performance this year.
Let's do our big 2 real quick.
Big
we got
2,
about a minute. Big
guess
2.
what?
Do Fox first.
They're both getting A's.
Oh, A.
De'Aaron Fox.
I'm going to give Sabonis A+.
Oh,
he's playing with a broken finger.
Plus.
And he's borderline. I mean, MVP candidate. If you're in the top 10 of MVP,
your Sacramento
consideration,
King, you get it.
Yeah,
you absolutely get it.
You get it.
Dumb numbers.
Yeah.
He's at 19, 12 and a half, and 7 assists, leading the team in assists per game, leading the team in rebounds per game, leading the team in field goal percentage. Actually, I'm sorry, Rashawn Holmes actually leads the team in field goal percentage. But right behind him. I'm going to give it to Domas because he's getting real legitimate minutes. Domantas Sabonis, A+++.
Superhero.
De'Aaron Fox gets an A. I would have given him an A+ had his 3-point shot stayed. Earlier in the year, he was shooting right around 40% from 3. I was under the belief that it was real legitimate. We heard a lot of Luke Laux working with him over the summer. I thought his 3-point shot is legit. He's fallen back to 33%, which still, mind you, is an improvement for De'Aaron Fox, who last season from 3 shot 29%. Right now, 33 would be his second highest total of his career. Right behind his second year in the league, he shot 37% on just under 3 attempts. He's now at 33% at just under 5 attempts. So De'Aaron Fox, get a average NBA average level 3-point shot. You earn yourself an A+. But for now, I'm going to give De'Aaron an A, Domas an A+. If I had to give the Kings, Mike Brown, of course, AA+, AA+. Kings in general, just in terms of expectations, they absolutely get an A for the season because this team was not supposed to be here. They were not supposed to be 5 games above 500 halfway through the year, and yet here we stay, and here we sit, and here we are. Looking forward to the second half of the season. Can't wait. Should be a fun one. Kings kind of have a relatively easy second half of the schedule. And, if you want to hear on a weekly basis how they're doing, you check right back here, Sacktown Sports 1140, every single Saturday from 11 to noon. My name is Chris Watkins. Thank you, Nate, on the other side. Super helpful. Man, Kings. 4th seed in the Western Conference, number 1 in the Pacific Division. Can't wait for what this second half has. My name is Chris Watkins. Thank you all for joining me today. Bye-bye.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown.